Hello and welcome to the marvellous show Game of Thrones. If you've never watched before, I'm your host Steve, and it's a react show to the Game of Thrones because we're in lockdown, had nothing else I could really do at the time, and I've never watched an episode, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm completely addicted. I'm even dreaming about it at night. I'm there 100%. We watched Season 4, Episode 3, Breaker of Chains last week. Really good episode. Poor Tyrion's in a lot of trouble at the minute. We started off with Sansa and the Dontos, who was the fool for the King's Fall. He managed to get her escaped out of King's Landing, which is a really nervy scene. Got her onto a little boat. They've sailed out, come across this huge ship, and as she's climbed up the ladder, someone's grabbed her and pulled her up, and it's Littlefinger, which is completely shocked about that because I thought he was with Sansa's aunt. So whether or not he's actually even gone there or not, I'm not sure. And whether he's the one that didn't make it crystal clear that he was the one that killed Joffrey or planned it. I'm saying he's the main suspect now, without a doubt. But it didn't make it crystal clear that he had done it. So I really want to find out for sure that he was the one that planned it, because that's very. Well, I don't know what his motive is for that at all. Really, I have to try and work it out. But I'm shocked if it is him. We had Cersei and her son and Tywin Lannister sort of mourning over the body of Joffrey, and then Tywin starts to sort of talk to Tommen because he's going to be the next king, sort of saying to him, you know, what a good king should be and all this kind of stuff. And then they kind of leave, and Jaime comes down the stairs, tries talking to Cersei. She turns around and says she wants him to kill Tyrion for vengeance. I don't think for a second that Jaime thinks that Tyrion even did it. And then the next thing you know, they've had a bit of a shout, and the next thing he's basically raping Cersei on the floor next to the body of Joffrey, which was a little bit weird, and very weird. So I don't quite know what's going to happen there, but I hope that Jaime doesn't go and try and kill Tyrion, because Tyrion's actually asked him to come for him to visit. He asked Pod if he could get Jaime to come and visit him. So I'm hoping that we don't see the old Jaime again. I don't want to see that Jaime. I like the new Jaime. I'm quite happy with the new Jaime, thanks. But where Pod did visit Tyrion, he sort of smuggled him in some food and confessed to Tyrion that someone's been trying to bribe him to go against Tyrion in the court hearing in 2 weeks' time. So Tyrion's basically said to him, just leave King's Landing. I don't want you to get hurt. You know, just leave. And that's quite an emotional scene. We saw Tywin Lannister confront Prince Oberyn. At first, you think he was going to try and arrest him for possibly murdering Joffrey, but as it turns out, he's actually offered him a deal that it was Mountain that actually killed his sister and I think killed his nephew and niece, and he's promised that he will get him to meet up with Mountain, which I guess means to kill him, if he will sit on the board of judges at Tyrion's trial, which is a bit strange. Don't quite know why he did that, but I think he wants them to join his kind of forces as well, because I think they're all worried now about Daenerys' army sort of getting bigger and bigger. We saw Daenerys go to Meereen. She pulled up at the gate and did like a bit of a speech, and they sent their best warrior out, who urinated in front of her as a sign of disrespect. So Daenerys chose Dario as her fighter, and he came out, bearing in mind he was just stood there while the other guy was on a horse with a lance and everything running towards him. And Daenerys' face was thinking, what are you doing? Why aren't you moving? And suddenly he just pulls out this dagger and just throws it and just hits this guy in the chest, drops him and just takes his head off. Then proceeds to urinate outside the door of Meereen himself, which is quite funny. And Daenerys has fired these catapults loaded with slave collars and chains at the city walls, which was I thought a really kind of really strong statement. And hopefully now that the slaves will rebel, the ones that are actually at Meereen. But hopefully in this episode, I'm sure we'll see some more of it in this episode, which will be good. We also had a bit of Sam and Gilly. Sam was very worried that even though it's quite a safe place, Castle Black, he's worried that she's being the only woman there, bearing in mind that some of the other sort of his brothers rapists, murderers and all sorts of nasty people. He wanted to get her out of there because he didn't think she was safe, so he took her to this place called Mole's Town, I think it's called, which was 10 times worse. I mean, it was way worse. He's actually got her working in a whorehouse not as a whore, but looking after the babies of all the kind of the whores that are there. But it's an awful place, absolutely awful, and that's not going to end well at all. He's going to have to get her out of there very, very soon, I think. There's a horrible scene of a boy whose village got attacked by the wildlings. Ygritte, I really don't like Ygritte at the minute, shot his father with an arrow, and then poor boy's mother got axed. And then there's a horrible scene where he's being held at knife point, and by one of the, I can't remember what they're called, the cannibals, saying that I'm going to eat the body of your mother and your father, and then he lets him go so that he'll run back to Castle Black and warn everyone. That was horrible enough. And then while we're at Castle Black, he had two of the survivors from Castra's group. They managed to escape, and they've said that Carl is the new leader of that kind of group at Craster's place. And now, of course, Jon's realised that should the wildlings get that far, which they will, if they interrogate them, which they will, they'll find out that there's only 100 men at Castle Black, not 1,000, which means they'll just attack and just wipe them out straight away. So now Jon's contemplating sending someone there to kill all the people at, or I guess it's to kill them, those at Castra's place. So that could be quite an interesting kind of twist as well. That Jon is going north of the wall again. You never know; he might bump into Bran. There was a little scene as well with Marge where she was basically saying, "Well, am I the queen?" with her grandmother. She says, "Am I the queen now?" And technically she is, but like her grandmother said, you'd probably not push the point right now. It's probably not a good time. So I don't think she's going to be the queen. I think she kind of conceded the fact that she's not, which is balls, because she is the queen. She's the proper queen. But yeah, I mean, we'll see where that goes, I guess. But yeah, I don't fancy her. I don't fancy the Tyrell's chances there. I think something's going to happen there because this is going to cause a lot of conflicts, I think, what's happening now. We saw a small scene with Stannis finding out that Joffrey's dead, and now he wanted to know from Davos how he's going with this army building thing, and apparently he's only had got a few houses of soldiers, which doesn't amount to very much. But Davos had this idea of contacting the Iron Bank in Bravos, I guess to get some kind of loan so they can get an army. But I don't know. I mean, Stannis to me now has really been pushed aside. There's a much bigger threats coming, and that's coming from the north and also from the east, because Daenerys' army now is getting huge. And we also had a bit of action from Arya and Hound. They were taken in by this father and daughter to a farm where they sort of fed them, and the farmer asked if he would work at the farm for a bit of silver. Hound said, yeah, I'll do it, and I thought that's a bit weird. And first thing in the morning, you hear these screams. Arya gets up to find that the Hound's knocked the guy out and taken the silver and just walked off with it. So yeah, Hound is still a bit of an arse at sometimes, but I still like those two. I still think they're funny. So that's kind of that's kind of a shortened version of what happened in the last episode. This episode is Oathkeeper, so I'm not quite sure where that one's going. You can usually guess from the title what it's about, but I'm not really sure on this one. And by the way, I went on eBay, stupidly, and I bought a map of Westeros, right? Because I thought, I want to know where all the places are, I want to get more involved. Because to be honest, I know where King's Landing is, I know where the Wall is, and I know where Winterfell is, and that's about it. I couldn't tell you where the other stuff was at all. So I bought this map. You're going to play this. Can you see this? Look, can you see out there? Yeah. There are hardly any names on it. And when there are names on it, you can't even see them. And I've even used the zoom in on my phone, and I still can't see what the writing is. Just a complete load of rubbish. So I'm going to get another poster now. It's got clear writing on it so I can see, because I want to know, I want to be involved. I want to know where everything is. I think it will help me understand a bit more as well. Because when they say, oh, we're going to blah blah blah, I don't know where that is, but now I wanted to know, but that's no blooming help. Anyway, so yes, let's crack on with episode 4, season 4, Oathkeeper. See you in a minute.
There are no men like me.
When they took you,
When did they take me? I was 5 years old. Do you remember your home?
Ansali, Always unsullied. Before unsullied, nothing.
That's not true. Kill the masters.
Kill the masters.
You'll have to continue later. It's time.
They like each other. I think they do. That'd be cute. Why's he got a slave collar on him? Is he pretending to be a slave?
Yel read. Progatas matas rang yel shirawa.
Valar Mugulis. Kidinan kizi ejim. Meritovi ejiderve samovita himeglezor espobilma.
Balshka.
Gibrogies bezi sator gonudo.
Bashka min shish.
Yam tol Volgeni. Tolkem.
Jimi sidlivas zermas maho.
Oops. I'm screwed.
Remind me, Sir Jorah, how many children did the great masters nail to mileposts?
163, Khaleesi.
I will answer injustice with justice.
Just don't pull any punches. Hey.
That was me knocking your ass to the dirt with your own hand.
Do you think you did it?
Nah. Oh, he hated the little twat, sure, but who didn't?
You want to know for sure, why don't you ask him? Your brother ever tell you how I came into his service?
He stood for him in his trial by combat at the Eyrie.
But only when Lady Arryn demanded the trial take place that day. You were his first choice. He named you for his champion because he knew you would ride day and night to come fight for him.
Come on, Jamie. Sort it out.
To tell you the truth, this isn't so bad. 4 walls, a pot to piss in. Sorry it didn't come sooner.
It's complicated, yes.
The son died in her arms.
Her son? Well, she's probably working on a way to avoid a trial altogether by having me killed.
Now that you mention it, did ask. Did you do it?
The Kingslayer brothers. You like it? I like it. You really asking if I killed your son?
You're really asking if I'd kill my brother. How can I help you?
Well, you could set me free. Sorry, I'd forgotten. I'd hate for you to do something inappropriate.
Appropriate. You're accused of killing the king. Freeing you is treason.
Except I didn't do it.
She's offering a knighthood to whomever finds Sansa Stark.
Sansa couldn't have done this.
She had more reason than anyone in the Seven Kingdoms. Do you think it's a coincidence she disappeared the same night Joffrey died?
Sansa's not a killer.
So where are they going?
Where are you taking me?
I'm getting married to your Aunt Lysa.
All right.
She's waiting for us at the Eyrie. You'll be safe there.
Did you kill Joffrey?
I've been in the Vale for weeks.
I know it was you.
And who helped me with this conspiracy? Then perhaps it was your husband.
No,
How do you know?
it just do.
Do you remember that lovely necklace Dantas gave you? I don't suppose you noticed that a stone was missing after the feast.
I don't believe you. If they catch you, they'll put your head on a spike just like my father's.
I'd risk everything to get what I want. As for what happened to Joffrey, well, that was something my new friends wanted very badly. Nothing like a thoughtful gift to make a new friendship grow strong.
Have you been to see Tommen yet?
No.
Cersei may be vicious, but she's not stupid. She'll turn the boy against you as soon as she can. Accusing her brother of his murder, which he didn't commit.
Well, he could have done.
I could have done, but he didn't.
You don't know, Grandmother.
But I do know. You don't think I'd let you marry that beast, do you?
I don't
Oh my
understand who...
God.
Worry yourself about all that.
It was her! Oh my God! Oh yeah, that'll keep him out. Couple of bits of wood. They'll never get through that. Oh God, what's him? What's he? Is that him? Why is he there? What mate? I can't remember his name. Why is he there?
Held the sword before.
He's gonna kill John, isn't he?
You know how to fight. Could have gone easier on him.
Go on, do it. You traitor's bastard. Give me an excuse. Mormon's not here to protect you now.
There will be a choosing. The old maester will insist on it. You might reconsider his request to march on Crastus. Let the mutineers take care of Snow.
Name's Locke. Jon Snow.